Round 3, fight. I'm RJ Young.
I'm Ron Taylor.
Yeah, this is Yeah, I Heard That, the RJ Young podcast.
Oh, wow. But the throwback, I love it.
What fun is it if we can't just throw it back?
No, I mean, that's why we started the show. That's why you have me on, right? Why even have a show if you can't bring your friends on it?
That's the whole reason for doing stuff like this.
Exactly.
Why have a studio? Like, why blow it out? Why do a podcast?
Because I want to make your time my time. And so that's why we do this.
Katie Nolan is my hero. I watch Katie Nolan fantasy draft fantasy players. And by that I mean Willie Mays Hayes, Charlie Schein, Gus Cantrell, Leonard Huff.
I listen to Katie Nolan fantasy draft best Disney songs.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so no, I get it. I'm right there with you.
Right. That's where I'm at too. I love Garbage Time. Long live Garbage Time. Mm-hmm. She sat down with Bob Stoops on a stoop and said, "Yo, this is Stoops on a stoop. Recruit me."
No, I've told you this many times that you have a limited amount of time to do the cool stuff that you did, and she took the advantage of it.
Oh,
I'll forever be grateful. Stoops on the stoop. You don't give me any chances to do that.
No, and you should take every opportunity.
Absolutely.
So, also, like, she was able to actually like poke Bill Simmons, like on her show. But he was also trying to make her show his show because that's what he does. It's kind of like being on a Drake single.
Did you know Spotify is trying to buy The Ringer? Speaking of Bill Simmons, Spotify is trying to buy The Ringer. So what you need to do, get the rest of your friends together to do some more like Harry Potter stuff. Make that money. The RJ Young Show is now...
My friends are going to record their podcast.
Well, I was about to say, the RJ Young Show is now a startup. And we're eventually going to sell this. We're going to go. What's her name from the lady with the selling the blood? You know what I'm talking about. Deep voice, turtleneck.
Oh, Theranos.
Thank you. Yeah, we're going full Theranos.
Elizabeth Holmes.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a great documentary.
It is.
We're not totally serious. In parentheses.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm writing it down right now. Can't see it, but I'm writing it down.
No. So that is going to lead to a very poor segue into
my favorite type of segues.
Well, you love talking about recruiting.
Ooh, okay, cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you handle this.
All right. So there are 2020 uncommitted prospects, right?
Mm-hmm.
And some of them are highfalutin uncommitted prospects. And my favorite one to talk about is Zack Evans. Why is my favorite one to talk about Zack Evans? Because Zack Evans' recruiting has been a trip. But also, this means that you had to watch highlight tape, and I can't wait to hear you talk about highlight tape.
Okay, so highlight tape is so bad. And I realized that you told me, at least there is tape. Because there's some people that, after you gave me this homework assignment, I looked back and said, oh no, Zack Evans is like this recruit is like this. And I could not find a single second of tape. Or if I did, it's that one game that they did back in 2002. And that's just 2002. If you want to go back, like get some of the old greats, gone. Can't even begin. And that's like pro stuff. Imagine if you wanted to compare them coming out of high school. Can't do it.
I want to enter the age of huddle where we can look at all pro players and go get their huddle. And I think we're getting to there. Like Odell Beckham Jr., for instance, who had a time at the national championship game, for which we will talk about. Promise. But of the kids that I asked you to take a look at, right? Zack Evans is one. Damon Clowney is another. Malik Hornsby is another. And now that we are in the post-De'Aaron King era at Miami, Malik Hornsby feels like a fit for a Dana Holgorsen offense or even Kendall Briles offense at Arkansas. Of the kiddos that I asked you to take a look at, which is your quote-unquote favorite?
My favorite is, what's his name? Avante. Help me with the last name.
Williams?
Yes, Avante Williams. That cat is just pure electricity. And I like seeing him. Big kid, fast, likes to hit, but I don't think that's his number one talent. It's basically wait till he gets the ball in his hands.
Undersized safety, though.
he is a little bit undersized,
Okay.
but I mean, I say big kid. He hits big.
Well, I mean, like
he
what did I write
he
down?
definitely throws his body into
So
people.
the comp that I wrote down is Buda Baker, who I enjoy, right? But like I heard comps to Bob Sanders, and I'm like, I don't know, because that's not a human missile. Like that's not a dude that is looking to spear everybody he sees.
Right. I mean, so Avante Williams is listed as 5'11", 170, which is high school kid size. Get him into a weight room, get him on a meal plan. He's gonna get up to 195, 200, and that's gonna be good for him. I think right now, like I like the Buda Baker comparison. I think Buda is a little bit more of a he is somebody that makes the safe decision as fast as they can. He's a sure tackle. No, which is I think is it's really good. So he's a sure tackle. He'll knock down the ball, and he's always like, you don't have to worry about him. Somebody catches Buda in space, it's a lock. He's gonna get that tackle. Avante Williams, on the other hand, is a playmaker, almost maybe like a. I haven't seen too much of a ball hawk stuff. It's hard to look at when you see these highlight tapes and a little bit of game film because a lot of it's focused on big plays. So he might be a ball hawk. I'd love to see if that develops, but if he gets his hands on it, it might go to the house. And so I think of him more of like a Tyrann Mathieu type.
Okay.
Yeah, I see that he's kind of a wild card because you put him out there in special teams. If he's out there in center field, you really gotta pay attention to him because he'll take it back for 6.
All right, so it also leads me to asking the question: you think you can play nickel? Because I always look at a defensive back, and the first question I ask is, can I put this dude in the slot and not get torched?
I don't know. That's one of those that no, because
Mathieu is that player.
Because you're right. There's only a handful of like real just walking, talking, pure cornerbacks in the world. So if he develops the man skills, great. If he doesn't, he's still a really good safety.
All right, so Avante Williams, and then I mentioned how much I like Zack Evans. I compared him to Melvin Gordon. You can't really find Melvin Gordon highlight tape, but the size is there, and you've seen Zack Evans' highlight tape, and you've also seen how this man will be running one direction and about to get tackled by 10 people.
Yeah. No, I really this kid has all the bag of tricks. They sell Melvin Gordon. I'm like, okay, and it's apt. And I couldn't find anybody that I thought of as better than him. That wasn't a slight. So
No, now I want to know who the slights are. Who are the slights?
No, we're not going to worry about that.
No, I just want the slights.
I'll save it for the Patreon. But no, like so he wants to bounce it outside. He's pretty fast. He has all the moves, all the jukes. So like, yeah, he looks for the highlight as he's running, and like you can't ask for anything better. Like something that a kid just has inside of him. Because a lot of kids are like big. Some kids are fast. Some kids can break a tackle and fall forward. It's very rare that you get somebody that's looking at the person in front of them, but also looking at the person behind that person, and also looking at the person behind them at the same time. He's special.
So I wrote down Melvin Gordon because I was trying to use NFL comps, but the dude that I think he's actually most apt to, at least in his play, we can talk about character and whatnot later, but Travis Etienne, mostly on the strength of what he did against LSU, which is everything right, which is you put him in a phone booth, 3 people are trying to tackle him, he shakes 3 of them, and then the 300-pounder falls on top of him.
Yeah.
Because that's how that game went. But you put Zack Evans in a phone booth, he's going to find daylight, and somebody's going to look foolish. That is the part of being a running back I can't teach you.
No.
And that's why I really love his games.
So like if you see that, because there's kids that are bigger and faster than Zachary Evans, but not all of them have that it.
Well, especially at running back, because it's so difficult to project that position because it's dependent on offensive line play. It's dependent on how good you are on the outside. It's dependent on the scheme and how much of this is space. How much of you is an inside or outside zone guy? How much of you is a gap scheme guy? How good are you at reading blocks? How good are you at waiting on things to develop? All those sorts of things that are dependent. But I feel like if I put the ball in Zack Evans' belly,
got no worries.
Yeah, and I don't really get to say that about a bunch of kids. And in this 2020 class, it's very deep at running back. It's extremely deep. Like there are kids that would be 5 stars any other year who just they ain't gonna get there because so deep.
Right.
right? We got kids at Notre Dame. That Chris Tyree is the best all-purpose back that I have seen all this year. Also, soaking wet, maybe a $170, $175. Tremendous speed, like 4.3 laser speed at running back. To which what they usually say is, "Oh, okay, son, you play cornerback." To which he says, "No, I don't. I am a running back, sir." Mm-hmm. But it also leaves aside guys like Seth McGowan, who is coming to Oklahoma, who you've heard me talk about. Like, dude, power cleans 340.
Yes.
Okay, that's the dude. That's the dude. So I put the ball in his belly. Probably not gonna get stopped for a loss. But does he have the vision of Zack Evans?
No.
And that's who has that sort of vision?
No, and that's what makes him special. Mm-hmm. We'll see where that goes.
So, want to get to the quarterback that's on the list because quarterbacks usually commit early, and they're usually in the boat early. The latest one that we saw commit was to Ohio State. His name is C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud wasn't necessarily a high-level dude, but then he put together some really, really great tape as a senior, and Ohio State came knocking on his door, and he says, "Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to Ohio State if they want me to go to Ohio State." Malik Hornsby was committed to North Carolina for some time and then reopened his recruitment. I think mostly because Sam Howell has just been that good. Sam Howell being the true freshman quarterback at North Carolina who was freshman All-American, and his stats were stupid. Like I want to say he had better stats as a freshman than Trevor Lawrence.
All right then.
Right, like
that's nothing.
He is the biggest reason as to why I think that North Carolina is going to jump to 9 or 10 wins this year. Right, I think Sam Howell's that good, but Malik Hornsby also, the knock on him is he did not really have to power the offense. Right, he didn't have to actually chunk it for a whole bunch of yards, and he's not really going to do that. But what he is going to do is give you a set of legs on the outside, and he is going to be a capable passer. I like the fit at Arkansas because of Kendall Browse and that veer and shoot that he loves to run.
Right.
That puts people out in space, and that is proprietary as hell. Like, we ought to really just dig deep on who actually knows what goes into that offense because it's like 4 people.
Yeah, okay. We'll get some people together, do a study.
Right. Because they don't talk about it, and it's weird. Like, we got a veer and shoot dude off the Browse tree running to you right now, and he's weird about it. And I'm going, it ain't really all that to be weird about, y'all.
No. The sauce is on tape.
Yeah. Yeah. And yet and still they think there's some tricks, and maybe there are. But Malik Hornsby now, Houston or Arkansas, is the pick for me. What do you see about him on tape that you like or don't like?
No, he gave me some serious Ja'Cory Harris vibes.
You mean with small hands?
Yes. No, so all right, so that's the thing that I always said, that the reason why Ja'Cory Harris was not great at throwing the football is because he played in a wet state with small hands, and so just threw a whole bunch of ducks. This kid doesn't do that, but they said that he looked like RG3. That's the closest comparison. So yeah, he's kind of RG3ish. I don't actually have more than to say about that because this precious little tape of him that I could find, couldn't find a lot of camp stuff, so. He throws a real loose, and he runs real fast.
Yeah, and that feels like the kind of dude that you want in a Browse system. But the other dude that you want in a Browse system, somebody who can throw it a country mile, because they got like 3 routes on the tree.
Right. It's like and
it's go, it's post, and I want to say it's flag, because they ain't really coming back to the ball. So much so that in that offense, they tell the wide receivers, "Yo, take this one off. We're running the ball."
And so RG3 showed up, and he's wild efficient. And some of that might have been a little bit luck, but I'm going to give him some credit and be like, RG3 was also just a really good quarterback. I don't know what this kid's gonna do. He looks good. Get him out in space, and he can burn you. So I saw a play that the other day where he baited like 3 people so they can throw over the defense, and I was like, that's amazing. He's good. I just don't know if he is going to be RG3 good. It's just hard because you compare somebody to a Heisman winner.
The only one at Baylor.
Very true.
Would we say that 2011 was a down year? Would we say that?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
Okay.
All right.
Just throw that out there. Do you like Damon Clowney? Do you like him?
Yeah.
Okay.
You
didn't like my Dwight Freeney comparison.
He's fun because Dwight Freeney was the best defensive end that ever played at Syracuse, and was one of the best to ever do it in the NFL, was also a brick of a human being.
With 8 moves. With 8 moves.
Yeah, like
eight moves.
He was a workhorse, undersized, like he just wasn't tall. He was 270. My man was a big dude, and I was looking at a lot of the draft profile people saying analysts, said that you could he could easily hold 245, right? So 6'4", 245, but that's easily. So what's the upper limit of that? 6'4", 260, 280. Can he do it?
Well,
I don't know.
His cousin was running around at 270.
True, but his cousin's also 6'6", 6'7". If he grows a little bit, and here's like, man, I feel like an old man saying, oh, if he grows into it, but so the comparison that you had to Freeney, I'll let you have it. I was thinking somebody a little bit more local. Like let's assume that 245, 250 is all he's got. So I was looking at what's that boy's name at TCU, Matt Boson.
Okay.
Yeah. So somebody that, assuming that he stays at that size, he could still wreck shop. Nobody's saying that he can't. So he's got real fast hands. He's got basketball feet. I like him. I'm intrigued to see what the Clowney pedigree or the family
bloodlines,
the family connection, because I guess the Clowneys are talent rich, but I'm seeing how that helps in his development as he goes along. So I mean, none helps talent like money. So get a little bit of experience, get some weight on him, could be great. Here's the thing, compared to because another dude that you want me to look up is Alfred Collins, and before I talk about him,
no, go ahead.
They say that Damon Clowney is pretty much just like a guaranteed mid-round draft pick, just guaranteed, and they don't say the same thing about Alfred Collins, who is a higher rated prospect than Damon Clowney.
He's higher rated based on what we would call intangibles, which is size. Right?
Yeah.
And weight.
Can't teach that.
But yes, because Alfred Collins is going to take tremendous polish, because like I said, you tape, he's like, ooh, child, this stance. Like, what are we doing with this stance?
Yeah. And here's the thing, I'm looking at this kid. It's so hard for me to judge kids on being able to be quality linemen. Like, okay, so this kid's big. He's very athletic.
6'6".
Hopefully he becomes I think I saw a video you talked about him, like, put some weight on him, hopefully not too quickly. So he's a medium to long project, at best. So hopefully he does that, becomes big and strong, and hopefully gets a nice bag of tricks, and in a perfect world, both.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's just going to be a solid, put him anywhere on your defensive line, and hopefully your linebackers and cornerbacks will take care of him.
Yo, this is a good time to mention that he's down to Oklahoma and Texas. Baylor felt like it could have swooped in there, and then, the head coach took the job at Carolina in the NFL. So there's that. Break.